Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and it's now time for episode 6 of our congressional maps series, and we're actually going to be doing New York, which is a safe democratic state, but there are a lot of interesting things to take a look at here because of the amount of seats that there are. So first, I'm going to ask you to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down, and I'll pin a comment, so reply to me so I get the notification, hopefully, please do tell me which state you want to see next, because I feel like we've done, competitive states, like we've done Minnesota, for example, which is a state that's pretty competitive. But let's try to do like a really important place. We can talk about Pennsylvania, which I know this is a national map, and I have Pennsylvania here. Just ignore that; doesn't mean anything for now. But give me a really competitive state that you want to see, and assuming it's not California, I'll do it. So yeah, and then by the way, be sure to like the like if you see a state that you want to see done, someone's already commented, to be sure to like the comment so I can see where the public is about it. So yeah, now taking a look at New York, this is what I think is going to happen first of all for my redistricting prediction of New York. So I am kind of spoiling a little bit of the Northeast. You can see what I think is going to happen in Maine. Vermont, boring because there's only one district, but New York. Taking a look at New York, I think that the Democrats have a chance to gerrymander here, and you can say technically that they have an independent commission. That commission, when you think about it, it's going to be very Democratic leaning, so it's not going to be an insane gerrymander like the one I'm about to show you, but I am going to show you something that I think is pretty cool for what I think the Democrats could do to draw a decent VRA compliant map of New York that still favors them. So in this map of New York, there would be 26 congressional districts, 23 of which would be held by Democrats, which is a net gain for Democrats. And so you can kind of see what's going on here. We have a lot of New York City. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 NYC districts plus Suffolk County, I believe, 2 Democratic districts there. And then on Long Island, we have this. There's still a lot of people who live here, so you're able to draw one Democratic district. There is a Republican district, however. You kind of have to pack the Republicans into this district, which is why it looks a little wacky. And then Staten Island, which is the Republican part of NYC. You see Staten Island reaching over and grabbing some parts across this little strait. I'm forgetting the name. I'm sure that I don't live in New York City, but I'm sure that, my New York City politics understanders could correct me on the name of this strait, or kind of area in between Staten Island and I believe the Kingsborough. So, this is a competitive district, but I'm sure that the Democrats would win it, especially because they won basically a purely Staten Island-based district in 2018. Now, that was a blue wave, but this seat would become like a significantly more favorable to Democrats. I think they'd probably win it most of the time. They could also potentially flip this seat, but it's kind of a pack, and I still think they'd lose it. Now, the actual map, when I made the map, the seat was actually R plus 14. So, yeah, and then you kind of have these other maps up here. You have a Buffalo-based district, a Rochester-based district, kind of. You have a Republican pack down here, and then the last district I do was the last remaining Republican district, which is just kind of collecting the remaining areas. This district is the most competitive Republican district. I think this is like R plus 14, this is like R plus 16, this is like R plus 9 or 10. So the Democrats could certainly flip it, but it's kind of a pack because you have some more Republican rural areas up here. Then you have Northern New York, which is more Democratic leaning. You have kind of the Antonio Delgado slash, I'm forgetting the guy who lost to Claudia Tenia. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Or Anthony Brindisi. Excuse me. I confused them because they were 2 Democrats elected in upstate New York in 2018. So you still have a lot of these Democrats who are pretty strong candidates. Like the New York Democratic Party in these congressional races finds strong candidates. So I think the Democrats would probably hold these 23 seats. They might. If John Katko were to run in this district up here, they'd probably lose it. To be fair, so maybe the Republicans hold 4 seats. Maybe they pick up a seat in Staten Island. I wouldn't bet on it. Maybe they pick up this seat over here. But again, these are still seats that are going to be Democratic leaning. And this map is VRA compliant. You have, I believe, 11 or 12 majority minority districts, most of them being in NYC. So you still have a good amount of majority minority districts that make the map illegal. Now, this is a really bad Democratic gerrymander of New York that I made, and it's an atrocity, I'll be completely honest. I actually didn't try too hard on it, mostly because of the fact that I didn't want to split too many precincts over here, so there are going to be a lot of safe blue districts in New York City, and this map is probably not VRA compliant. I mean, definitely split too many counties, too many cities. So some of these districts are more Democratic than others, especially this district down here. We can actually look at that. But, again, these districts are certainly very, very interesting to look at. The population deviation is probably outside of the amount that you need. And I'm sure that, there's a district not contiguous, and there is a bit of a population deviation, so I definitely would have to sure up on this, but I made this map a while ago and I thought I'd share it with you just because of how cursed it is and how terrible and how bad it looks. So, and I did name the map Blue York, which I thought was a pretty funny thing. I did post on my Instagram actually a couple. So, by the way, follow me on Instagram. I'm at UEP_YouTube because I do post these maps ahead of time sometimes. So, I'm taking a look at a map that I actually did not make. It's titled New York Republican Gerrymander. I'll pull it up in 1 second. And my apologies. I know my fan is going crazy, but I did post, does anybody have any New York Republican gerrymanders? The Map Lab posted this, where they have this 27 District New York. So this was actually before the the census. I believe they made it probably. So yeah, this map is an atrocity, and give full credit to the map lad. I mean, they really bailed me out with this video because I was not in the mood to make a terrible map like this. But they, this map is insane. Like, when you look at what they did here, this must have taken a lot of time, and you got to give them credit. I mean, this map would never in a million years ever happen. It's definitely not VRA compliant, but it does a lot of interesting things. You have four Republican districts in the NYC area, which is very impressive. And just look at this terrible district right here that I can see, really grabs a lot of these. These are more wealthy areas dominated by white voters that are more Republican in the part of the city, as well as Staten Island, than just the Long Island Republican voters there. And then you kind of go upstate. You have a huge pack of Albany and surrounding Democratic areas, because there's still a lot of them, as you can see. And then, they pack Buffalo and Rochester into one district. Then really close, you have some more Rochester, and I believe Syracuse, as well as Utica in that district, plus Tompkins County, which is very Democratic. I don't really know why. It's kind of a smaller county. Then you split up these more Democratic regions up north that are more rural. So yeah, that's essentially it for this map in this video. I know this is a shorter video, mostly because I didn't have the time to make the maps on screen. Now, give me a state that you really want to see. I think that it's time to move on. We've talked about some smaller states like, Oregon and stuff. Let's take a look at a state that is going to be really interesting to delve into, and what we can do with that. So, yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. Subscribe on the left if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.